sponsorships. Can you talk about some of the sponsorships you've done? Like you said, you've
Yeah.
worked with blue chip companies. What are the cool ones that you've worked with that you look back at that you're proud of?
Chipotle is probably the most proud still. Love
You
that
have a
was my
black
dream
card,
brand
right?
to work with. Yeah, I've had 4 years of the unlimited card.
That's awesome.
Burning a hole in my pocket right now. I had Chipotle for lunch.
Yeah.
So, but right now, technically, I'm not sponsored by Chipotle. I was. They came back last year and signed with me for another full year because I put them in a Fortnite fashion show that was a sponsored video that got 11 million views. They said it's like one of the most successful pieces of content ever from a sponsored perspective. So that was really cool. Ruffles, I did the commercial for. So that's a blue chip. I did the Mountain Dew Game Fuel, which is Pepsi owned.
Yeah.
Had a custom flavor. We sold, now I don't know if I'm allowed to say or not, but over 10,000 cases of that.
Wow.
Which was a full sellout on the 2 different drops.
Amazing.
I mean, Samsung through their monitors did that for a year, which was awesome. And then different peripherals. I was with Razer for years. Now I've been with Corsair for years, and their family, they own Scuff.
Elgato, right?
We know Scuff
very
well. And over the years, I think the only way to describe it would be countless others. If there's one thing I've definitely always had a consistent flow of through my agents at Loaded, they've always done a great job of putting me out there, putting offers in front of me. And that's not even talking about game development opportunities or game dev deals like sponsored game streams or movies or other products, other food, other, this. So it's been, to me, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like, I like the challenge of how can I put this product in front of my audience that I know I like this product, have my audience want to engage with it and have them feel like it's a successful partnership, have my audience be excited and have me be excited about it too. And those are the deals that help pay for the Christmas bonuses and this and that,
Yeah.
So
That's I think maybe it was off camera where we spoke about it, but we've touched on your audiences being older, the older audience, the younger audience. I think that's one massive benefit of when you are able to make content for a younger, not even necessarily just younger, but clean content that brands like. You get a lot more opportunities like this, and it's really cool that you put yourself in a position. By just being a good dude, having good relationships with people, making good content. Even what you're saying about like YouTube, how you went above and beyond. That I think you've even brought people to YouTube, right? If I remember correctly, I feel like you've brought other streamers or you've helped like sign.
I definitely have been like a double agent, I'd say, of like, hey, you should sign these people, and YouTube let me go to them and say, yo, you should sign with YouTube, or different events that they've hosted, getting people there or getting people energized at the events.
I think it's like, I'm just pointing it out because I've been around a lot of obviously content creators throughout FaZe and just the industry. And a lot of people have the opposite experience where sponsors, it is like the biggest headache to work with them. And like when you're making, so many people are making so much money, they don't care. Like, so like, as crazy as it may sound, they may have this deal, but they might not even care about getting paid $50K for this random sponsorship. They look at it as an annoying thing, right? I think it's, for creators that are out there that want to be streamers or whatever, to learn from Courage and how he did it, like that's definitely the route to go. No matter how cool you think you are, how much money you think you're making, to be respectful always goes a long way. And to, I think being able to re-sign multiple agreements with sponsors, that's amazing. And and again, like that is you put in the work to do that. You know what I mean? That's not you have to build that relationship. You have to build that respect and give your all. I think that's that cool lesson for me too. Honestly, you going above and beyond like that. Going to YouTube shoots and stuff like that. Like, it goes a long way. So it's really cool to hear.
No, thank you. And one of the questions I got from someone on my stream today was like, I just turned 18, or no, it was Random Duo actually. Random Duo recognized me, and he was like, yo, it was a great question. He's like, I've just turned 18. Well, what advice would you give me? And instead of the normal 12-year-old that might be in the game, like, Courage, no way. I'm like, I'm having a great conversation with this guy. And one of the pieces of advice that I gave him, because I kind of just went on a rant for a few minutes because I love the question so much, was 99% of people just want to work with other people that are enjoyable to be around. Socially adept, wanting to be helpful and be a great version of themselves. Like I would argue that you would be 90%, have a 90% advantage over other people by just being enjoyable to be around, being respectful, being reliable and hardworking. And it's like, that's it. Like that will get you in more doors and have more opportunities than you could ever imagine.
100%.
And that's kind of been the core of how I've always tried to be.
It's great advice. It's really good advice. I mean, I know that's where I'm at in life. Like I only want to work with people that I feel like are good people at this point.
Oh yeah.
Especially the more experience you get, and there are the bad
You have
people
less and
that
less
slip
patience
through.
for it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's good advice. Are there any big sponsors that you turned down that you I don't want to say regret, but okay, like the Facebook thing, it's very interesting. Like that's interesting.
Yeah,
It's interesting
yeah,
to
yeah.
see that thought process. And now I'm sure you got maybe some gambling or crypto stuff that you maybe didn't want to do, but you have any big sponsors that you turned down?
Yeah, I mean, all the NFT stuff, those were just easy to say no to. I think that there's some value in certain crypto things, like the main ones.
Yeah.
So I was never fully closed off to that, but just the right opportunity never came up. I'm not promoting any coins or anything.
Yeah.
When it comes to, I was passionate and enjoy poker a lot. I had a poker opportunity that I said no to because it just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
I've never been offered any of those gambling deals, but
Okay.
those would have been an easy no. Trying to think of any other. So some of them, because as you mentioned, they can be viewed as a pain point.
Yeah.
I actually remember getting to a point with that in like 2021 where I started to or 2022, where I overloaded myself, but it was my own fault. But I started to view certain sponsored deals that in the past I would have been jumping for joy.
Yeah.
As frustrated.
Yeah.
And at that point I knew when I talked to my agents, like, we got to fix this now. So I just started to say no to more things, even though I liked what it was. Just I need to make sure I'm putting my best foot forward for it. The only time I'm ever now really annoyed by a sponsor is if, I'm just going to put an example. Chipotle's been always great to work with. I have no means with Chipotle. I'm just using this for the example standpoint. If a company like Chipotle comes to me and they want a sponsored video or a sponsored post, and they're then telling me what they want the title to be, and they want the heart of the video to be, and this and that, you're going to be like, then what do you pay me for?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not telling Chipotle how to make their burritos.
Yeah.
Don't tell me how to get you views, right?
Yeah.
I want to know what's key for me to talk about with your product. But when it comes to a hook on a short or a video to get people to stay tuned in, or, if I uploaded a video and put the title like Chipotle's new burrito, #ad,
Yeah.
that video is going to fall flat on its face.
Yeah.
But instead, let me work my magic. Let's get an interesting title and thumbnail. Let's disclose the ad in the description and in the video when the time comes. But let's get people hooked on the video, get them in a couple minutes, and then show them the ad, because they're more likely to stay for the video. And if they're more likely to stay for the video, and the video gets shared,
Yeah.
YouTube's algorithm push it to more people, and then more people see it, and boom, 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 cascades. So that's the only time I really get annoyed, is when a company pays me a lot of money to promote them, and then they're like, why don't you have the exact 6-letter or 6-word name of our headset in the title?
Yeah. I think people would be shocked at how incompetent some of these marketing teams are.
Truly incompetent.
It is actually the most frustrating thing ever. Like when you get an interesting even I'm thinking from the phase side, when I was speaking with the sales team and stuff, like we'd have like the coolest brands would come, coolest opportunities. Then you start brainstorming, you come up with the coolest ways to do the partnership, and it's like, no, we can't do it. We actually have to do it like exactly what you're saying. It is the most frustrating feeling on earth.
And then next thing you know, the deal doesn't work out well, and then they're less likely to want to re-sign, and they're less likely to want to work together in the future because it looks like it was a failed thing, and then you're less excited for the future, or you don't want to work. And I'm like, dude, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Well, it's very, very, very cool to hear kind of inside scoop of how you look at all that. I think you have a very, you referenced it earlier, maybe even when you're younger. Obviously, you just said you just turned 31.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
But, experience is showing, like, you're very wise, and you could see in the way that you kind of look at the whole field when you're making decisions. It's very impressive and inspiring. So congrats on all that success. Are there any investments that you've made outside of that? You have a lot of money that you just spoke about coming in.
Yeah.
And other guests have spoke about real estate they did, or, investments in what, I don't even know what else. I can't even think of right now, but real estate's usually the one that a lot of people do, like Rug.
Yeah.
Roman
Rug I talked to a lot.
Yeah.
With his stuff. And that would be, I think what Rug's doing is, he's brilliantly smart. He's obviously built an empire. He's built himself the ability to, if Rug just went to a random place in the mountains, he would come back 50 years later, way richer than he is now, right? Through what he's built for himself.
Yeah.
So I think from my end, I just wanted to know that, like, I viewed it as, if this is like a 10-year window where I'm all out grind, business, this and that, or especially from streaming, I want this 10 years to pay for the lifestyle I want to have until I'm dead and my kids are, then get what I have.
Yeah.
So from my end, always invested right away early on. I've always been big on that. Learned from my grandparents, my uncle, how key investing is. So I worked with a financial group to invest my money and trust them to invest in the correct ways. Through your normal standard things. For me, I'd rather be a conservative investor with a high success rate to grow consistently than be like that guy who's like 50K in this squiggly line NFT, bro, or
Yeah.
100K in this coin, it's gonna moon. Like that has no interest to me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'd rather
Yeah.
the biggest thing still now at 31 I have on my time is, knock on wood, is time, or on my side is time.
Yeah.
And for anyone younger watching this, I even talked with Jason about an event I was with him recently of like, just making sure, bro, you're going to be making a lot of money. Make sure you're investing it, bro. Because some of these guys are young as 20 again. Like I remember starting at 20.
Yeah.
I immediately started investing then, and you know, it's been the greatest thing I could do. So I've got a good amount in you know, the normal things you'd expect: ETFs, index funds, diversified, you know, with the bonds, or, you know, with bonds and things to kind of offset, you know, a volatile market like we have right now and have had since the Trump administration. And then I own my home. Technically, while I view it as like the place I'm living, I guess that's technically investing in real estate. I could have made the decision to take that money, rent my house instead, and then go and buy real estate properties to own that. But instead, I'm just like, let me just buy my home. And so I don't own it fully outright, because it makes more sense for me to have my money in the market.
Yeah.
So with that, and then I've done like 5 or 6 angel investments. One I'm always really excited about is Backbone.
Okay, cool.
You know, and the mobile gaming
Yeah.
kind of controller and platform. They continue to crush it. Invested in a few other companies that I've never really made too public, but yeah, about 5 or 6 of those. So I would say, like, of the money I've made, let's just put it at 65%, 70% is in stocks and, you know, your normal stuff. 27% is in my home and real estate things, and then the other 3% is like mixed between crypto and angel investments.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I after investing some money in more volatile things,
Yeah.
I'm definitely team. There's an ETF that I put most of my investments in now, and just, you know, returns 5 to 8% a year. I saw some chart from 1900 till
That's it,
and it just shows how, like, through all the world wars, all the
there's gonna be down
presidential
years. There's gonna be down
assassinations,
years,
but the average is
yep.
8%, I think, return.
And compounding interest is the 8th wonder of the world.
And people think that it's just crazy, because when you're thinking 10 years ahead, you're like, bro, I don't want to worry about 10 years from now. I want to like a lot of people think that way. But you just mentioned 2016 is 10 years. It's about to be 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You just mentioned it. What was that date when you started streaming?
January 1st, 2016.
That's when you started streaming, you're saying?
Yeah. Or like when I
Full time.
This career that I built, that was when I started. Yeah.
So, like, that being almost 10 years, you know, 10 years flies. Like,
Yeah.
Phase's anniversary is about to be 15 years this month.
Yep.
Right? Next month. And it's just like time, like, I'm realizing now, oh my God, time flies. And for people that think it's like a boring investment to put yourself in an ETF that's going to give you back 5%, like, that is going to keep growing.
And it's tough too, because I think social media does a lot of negative to the new generation of, like, seeing these people. There's the outliers, these crypto guys who've done well, or this opportunity here, but like a lot of these people, you don't know where they come from, the money that they got inherited, and this and that. Like, in my opinion, the safe bet is being smart with your money. You know, building a side hustle is great. Doing that, you know, finding supplemental income, I fully believe in that. That's what I've always done. But at the end of the day, it's like, dude, if you're 20 years old, you got some money and you could put some money into an account, do it, man. Go for it, do it, and start it.
I think the NFT crypto hype made people have unrealistic expectations of how much money.
Very unrealistic.
People were making 5 to 10x and they weren't happy about it.
Even
It's
now,
crazy.
like a lot of these Fortnite kids, bro, when this when meme coins and stuff were blowing up a few months ago, if you remember that, like there were meme coins everywhere, money symbol, whatever the hell you want to put in front of it.
Yeah.
I swear half the Fortnite community, next thing you know, they're meme coin traders.
Yeah.
And it's like they're posting their wins, but first they're not posting their losses.
Yeah.
And then guess what? All those meme coin traders, when the market tumbled,
No
one's posted about it anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are we doing, guys?
Yeah.
Come on. I'm trying to tell them, like, just do the safe thing.
Yeah. It's I think experience is something you can't teach sometimes.
Yeah.
That's one of the
You got to
things.
fumble it a little bit. You got to get scammed in MapleStory like I did growing up to learn how to avoid getting scammed on the internet.
Because Cypher told us a story about how he got scammed in RuneScape.
Yep.
How'd you get scammed in MapleStory?
Just people, putting up an item that you think is, just like Cypher went
Same
through.
thing,
Same thing. It's all the same stuff, bro. Are you kidding me? You got to learn, or NX scam. You think you're got to be buying NX to be able to buy money for like the real money shop. So you pay Mesos for NX. So like for a code to use. It's all BS. I remember paying a couple, like millions of Mesos for some NX, and I'm like 13, and then I'm like, "Are you kidding me, bro?"
Yeah.
And then I,
Kidding me, bro.
Got to keep my eyes out
That's
from then on
funny.
out, you know?
Again, it's experience.
Yeah.
So congrats on a pretty successful career. Hopefully, like you said, you're at still a pretty high point in it. It's not like you're not looking back. You're
No,
still,
I know. I'm
you're
still
still
in it.
very active, and with all the money that is coming in, going out. Obviously, a lot of times people maybe overestimate. Because there's things that we didn't talk about. I mean, you touched on it, but there's taxes, there's expenses for your team, and
Oh, yeah.
it's not like all the money that's coming in you're necessarily keeping by any means. Are there any stresses that have come with all that money, with family or friends, or what kind of stuff have you seen on that side?
I've been very blessed to always be surrounded by great people. So when some people have the stories of like these people started coming asking for money or this and that, like I've definitely had a few dozen people that I maybe haven't spoken to in years send me a random Twitter DM, be like, "Can you help me?" Or a person on Facebook send me a random message asking if I can help. And in my head, I'm like, I don't really know you at all, and this and that. And I've definitely seen that come to light. But from my end, for my direct family, people that I love and care about, I've thankfully not had to deal with any of that, which has been a big help and has helped me stay mentally clear, I would say. When it comes to stresses from it, the benefit to doing so well is the taxes you pay. And obviously in LA is probably peak and get in America.
Yeah.
It's it hits.
Yeah.
But I've gotten through the tears from paying, enough money to make me want to hyperventilate to now, like, hey, it's part of life.
It's part of life, yeah. I mean, there's definitely some people that don't take that L and they find every way to finesse it somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it, but
I can't be thinking like I'm going to be like those celebrities that get caught and have prison sentences. Like, I'll pay my taxes. I don't need to go to prison, bro.
yeah. I saw some lady on TikTok that was like a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Did some real estate fraud. I don't know what happened. It's literally a random mom. Like, just imagine, not your mom, but just imagine a mom. She went to jail for she missed, like, her kids were like,
Yeah.
in their like right before the teenage years, and she went to jail for like 5-6 years for some random real estate fraud. I'm like, dude, just imagine losing years of your kid's life over that.
Time is the most important currency.
Crazy.
Always make more money. Can't have my youth,
Yeah, no, that's respect it. That's cool. I'm glad you didn't have any necessarily negative experiences. What about with you have an older fan base that knew you from Call of Duty. You have the younger kids. So I'm sure everywhere you go, you're getting stopped by somebody.